My name is Carl Adamchak. I am a docent at Penn Museum, Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology. And what we're doing here is the construction of al-mudhif, which is an Arab word for a ceremonial house. The house that we're going to be building here is a house which has been in use for about 5,000 years, coming back from the times of ancient Sumer, a location in southernmost Iraq. The house that you're going to build here is used as a ceremonial center, and it's also used as a good place to have feasts, parties, and whatever else you may have in mind. The people who live in southernmost Iraq today are called swamp Arabs. This particular structure is still used today. It is built, and it is built with reed, and it's built in the same manner with the same architecture as was the case 5,000 years ago when Sumerians who lived in that region began to build this type of structure that you'll see today. You do know that one of the structures that you may see on this one becomes a symbol of the goddess Inanna, who was a goddess of love, war, peace, and whatever else you want to throw in there. Very, very popular goddess, very, very important goddess in Sumerian and in Babylonian mythology.
And this is all pre-Judeo-Christian?
Oh yes, indeed. Way before that. So the civilization of Sumer probably begins around, maybe 3,500 BCE, maybe 3,000 BCE, it's hard to say. This is the location where writing is first developed. This is the language Sumerian, which has been translated. It will be used for about the next 1,000 years or so as a literary or as a religious text or language. It'll be gradually replaced by Akkadian. There are two dialects in Akkadian, Babylonian and Assyrian. And the Babylonian language, Akkadian, will make use of Sumerian sumerograms or pictures, as well as some of the cuneiform forms that come down to us from Sumer. Studying Akkadian language, which has two major dialects, one is Babylonian, the other Assyrian. It is written out in cuneiform writing, and this is I would write the name of the god Ashur. This is the chief god of ancient Assyria. Cuneiform writing was developed because you needed a good way to write things down in a country that has nothing to write it on. So when you take a piece of clay and a stylus and you begin working on it, you would write it down left to right, and you could also write it top to bottom like so. What's fun about it is that it makes use of both Akkadian cuneiform or wedge-shaped writing, as well as the use of Sumerian characters also. They were very good at making lists, maybe for 1,000 years or so, and they would have lists of kings, lists of cities, lists of different types of farm animals, and wild animals, and plants.
Can you write some?
It's very, very simple. Now, this would be a piece of clay. This would be a stylus with a triangular point to it. And it would simply go like so.
Is it like an alphabet?
No, it's syllabic. So that this character here, for example, would represent the sound ma, M-A. This symbol here is an ah, and an ashur put together to make the name of the god. So
can you say something in Akkadian?
Shode, which is to say hello.
And you were talking about people speaking it today. There are people who still...
The dialect Assyrian is spoken today in about 4 or 5 villages in the northernmost part of modern Iraq, very close to the Kurdistan border. We may have a gentleman visiting here today who does speak ancient Assyrian, and it's as common up there as English is with us. Two different cultures. The Sumerian and what we're talking about here with the Babylonian languages comes a bit later. This is what's called Akkadian. It's a very different language from Sumerian. Sumerian is not related to any surviving language today. Akkadian, by contrast, will be the great granddaddy, so to speak, of modern Hebrew, modern Arabic, Ethiopic, Syriac, and Aramaic.